Where's my phone? Oh, God.
Ooh, we're live.
Nobody's
We're
watching.
live. And nobody's in the chat.
Give us a chance.
And it's 6 minutes past. Where are you all? We've been here for an hour at least.
Right.
Well, good evening, nobody. And welcome to the show. We won't be watching because you aren't there. Oh, there's one person just jumped in. Hello, that one person. If you could just give us a hi in the comments, so we know who it is and that we're broadcasting loud and clear. What were you saying, Viv? It's three of them now.
That's live and no one's Jay.
It might be boring tonight. What I'm going to do, we're just going to read out the numbers as they go up and down. The people is 4 now. Hi, Sarah. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining tonight, as always. Where have you been? I've been waiting an hour. Hello there. Who else are we waiting on? Oh, somebody's buggered off.
That was me.
Probably. Oh, were you one of the fourth, were you? Oh, there you go then. Right.
No, I was the one that said, where you been? I've been waiting on.
Oh, that's Willow Morgan, isn't it? Yeah. Right. Oh, we're down to 1 now.
What have you done to everyone?
I don't know. All I can say then, I'm assuming Sarah's doing a chat. Those that have left, do one. Hi, William. I hope you're doing well, my friend.
Hi, William.
Hey, William.
Lovely William's in the chat. So
you
we have got
a
few people, couple now with that. Oh, it's up and down like a temperature. Look at that. Right. Anyway, this evening, we're going to be talking about the torch experiment. Shouldn't take too long. My opinion on it won't. And we're talking about shadow people. So let's see what's going to go on there. Hiya, Sarah. You're not going anywhere. No.
Viv.
Now. Who are you pointing at, Viv?
The torch.
Oh, I didn't even notice that behind you. There you go.
He was pointing like.
Can I ask it a question?
He's going to ask it a question, are you? So we're going to talk about that. I think, shall we start with the torch experiment now? William says he likes shadow people. They speak very highly of you, William. So...
don't start me off, Dan. I'll hurt my eyes. I can't cope as it is.
So I think we'll start talking about the torch experiment now. Are you guys aware what the torch experiment is? Yeah.
I've seen
where you undo the torch. Yeah, you undo the back of the torch.
That's
so
it.
that
I've seen some of them, yeah.
Terminals are just touching the battery and what have you, and then
that's it.
You're meant to be able to. But to be honest with you, I mean, my opinion of it is that it's just nonsense, really, because when you've got something that is that disconnected, almost fully disconnected, just touching by a string, then to me it just doesn't. It's got no validity to it.
No,
because as you know that it's like it's just going to touch and go. And the fact that if you ask questions, it happens at that particular time. You can't, in my opinion, you can't put that down as activity because it's just too tenuous. So yes. So William, he says, "Oh, good. I'm glad they do."
Well, I have an experiment here, which is along the lines of the torch experiment. It's sold as a magic trick.
Gimmick, isn't it? Yeah.
But we took away the magnets from it, and it is just literally a lamp screwed in, and on a battery, and an on-off switch. So we used it as a lamp and not as the trick that it's designed for. And we made sure that this is screwed in properly to get proper results.
Okay.
And it worked.
Oh, there you go then. So was it actually self-lighting and extinguishing as well?
It was self-lighting. It wasn't do the 1 for yes and 2 for no and 3 for maybe. It wasn't doing that. It was doing on and then off.
Was it doing it when you were asking relevant questions, or?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
But I can't use it now because either the battery stuff or the lamp stuff, one of the two, and it's not working. So.
That's all right. Both easily fixable, I would think.
Yeah, just a new bulb and a new battery.
But again, if you're not screwing that in properly, or you've got a loose connection, you'll end up with the same.
Noreen.
That thing up there.
Yeah,
but that that is a waste of time. Seriously,
Yeah,
nothing's
I
happened
agree.
so far.
I agree. I think it's a nonsense myself.
Mm.
So, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if there's much more we can say about the torch experiment, is there?
Yeah, when the batteries get cold,
Yeah.
and it's not just in torches; it is in anything that you use. People
All
are like
equipment.
cameras. Oh, my camera's not working. It's going all the because your battery is cold and it's not wrapped. You'll see people that work for TV and professionals, when it's raining, they'll cover it in plastic sheeting. If it's cold, I know some people, I've seen Eurosport put socks on their batteries around the camera. They'll set it all up and then they'll put thick socks around it to
Loose
protect
batteries I
their
carry in my
batteries.
pockets next to my skin. Keep them warm in my
Yeah,
pockets
so,
when I'm not using them. But yeah, but even
but
so, once you put them in the equipment, they drain anyway.
yeah, soon as you get back into a warm environment, you've got a full battery
Yeah,
again. It's
yeah,
because your battery got
yeah.
too cold, and so many investigators are, oh, look, the spirits are draining my
I was going to
battery.
say, how many times have you seen that on TV? They go,
Oh,
oh, full
what?
drainage here. It was a full battery when I started. Then they go to the studio and go, wow, the life's back in it. It's like, well, of course it is. It's warmed back up again.
Yeah,
They do, Noreen. They do train in the cold.
yeah. Oh, guys, just quickly before we get into shadow people, I've got some news. So,
That's just a news beat.
news beat.
Like news round.
So, we are turning, it's not 3 years, it's actually 4 years on the 3rd of June.
Wow.
So we were running this competition. So on, I don't even know what day it is. It will be a Wednesday. It's a Tuesday. So we'll do it on the 4th of June. So we'll do it on the day after. We will be announcing the winner of our competition. So you still have time. But we will be getting the show hosts on. There'll be a few of us on here, and we'll all be having heated discussions about our favourite name and why, and who, they won't know who's named who. They'll just hear the names for the ghost, and they'll be putting their votes towards their favourite. So it will be an interesting.
What is the name?
We don't know yet.
Yeah. Just asking off the top of your head, what would be a good name that would win your shirt?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, let me just stop you there, guys. Hi, Chantel. I hope you're doing well, my lovely. I hope everything's
Hi,
good. I hope
Chantel.
you're recuperating, convalescing back home, and you're doing spiffingly well.
Spiffingly.
Lots of love.
Spiffingly.
Lots of love to you. Yes, Noreen, exactly. You do. So William says, I could see the legitimacy with the torch. If you're changing up number of flashes and asking complicated questions, there might be some validity. See, even so, I would think that if something's got a modicum of it not being true or not working, I wouldn't be able to use anything that I got from it, because to me it'd be tainted. But I see what you mean.
It's
William.
it's like using the K2 for yes/no answers.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Conspiracy, I'm going to talk to you doing that. How many of us have done it that's here? Put your hands up.
What K2's
Yes.
for talking?
Yeah,
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely.
I have.
Put your hand up then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, brilliant, William. Rita says, Parker.
Hello.
That is Peter Parker, Spider-Man. How does it go, Parker?
Bit like that.
No, if Parker annoys you, do this to him.
So you got to shout, Harry Monk.
Who's this Harry Monk geezer?
Harry Monk. Harry Monk.
It's terrible. Rita, you brought it down into the gutter, Rita.
Rita will always do that. It's typical
She's a terrible
Rita.
woman.
She sits there sweet as light, but in the background she's a vicious, terrible individual.
She's supposed to be nursing her man.
I know. I know, Rita.
Hope he's all right.
Yeah, I hope he is.
Hope he's all right. Let us know what the situation is, please, Rita.
Yes. Right.
Right.
Tim's in the house.
Hello, Tim. I hope you're doing well, buddy. We were just talking about Harry Monk.
Oh, tell Tim you want to speak to him privately.
I want to speak to you privately, Tim. Now, if you like me, you can speak to the dead new sidekick. Sending you a message now, Tim. Sending you a message from me and the dead people, Tim. To you. Love and light.
Such a melt.
Tony, what about sending love and healing to Rita for Eric?
Hey?
You're supposed to send the healing to Rita for Eric.
Sending love and light to Eric. I hope that everything goes well and they successfully removing his crabs.
Eric's had his crabs removed, so we're wishing him well.
And if he happens to get home and he scratches down there, remind him any more than 3 scratches and it's called abusing yourself.
Dan, see, that would work if you had your Herman glasses on.
What's she say?
Your small glasses that makes you look like your German ones.
Oh, I don't know what she's talking about. People can't understand her. She's speaking in tongues. The religion's got a hold of her. She's speaking in tongues.
Hey, Bri.
See if I can
Hi, Nettie's in the house.
Nettie.
Hello, Nettie. Hope you're doing well, love.
Wayne's in the house. Hi, Wayne.
Oh, Wayne.
Good evening,
Welcome to
Wayne,
the
love.
Welcome to the madhouse, Wayne. Looks like we've got Tony Stackwell in
Still
the
under
house.
the knife. Bloody hell.
Oh, wow.
Does that mean they couldn't afford a scalpel?
Such a dick.
Well, these hospitals come in for... Oh, it's terrible, love, isn't it?
God.
I've seen the K2 used for counting complicated questions with no phones or outside radios and various number of flights. It worked on a half-hour conversation. The science part of the team. So I raised it. No, do you know what? I've used the K2 when it's been undeniable, really. But by the same token... All right. Oh, so Chantel says... I'm doing good. Well, another, hopefully, the last surgery. Oh, bless you.
Oh.
And hold thumbs up. That's that. And we can be done with it. Oh, you need to get over here, Chantel.
Yeah. Get well so you can
Get over here.
come over.
We'll look after you.
I'll look after you.
Hi, Nicola.
Hi, Nicola.
Hi, Nicola. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, Nick.
So, what does Tony Stackwell...
Yeah.
What does Tony Stackwell think of shadow people? Let's get his take on shadow
He
people.
absolutely loves shadow people, especially that Hank Marvin. I do love the shadow people. They've got some good music, but when they left young Cliff, it all went downhill a bit. Because he's like me, young Cliff. He's very light on his toes, if you know what I mean.
So, Dan, do you know anything about shadow people?
Do I know anything about shadow people? I used to think that shadow people were spirits. And then I went from that and I thought, well, you know what? We started to come across quite a few when we were doing... I noticed we started to come across more when we were doing buildings or places in woods. They seem to be more prevalent in places like woodlands or nearer woods. When we did an investigation in Epping, especially when it's dark, when we did it in Epping, we came across a few in a building. You could physically see them. It was really... But it wasn't like the shape of a person, but it was a definite dark area that was moving. And there was 3 or 4 of them dying around this building, or there seemed to be. Tony Stackwell.
Tony Stackwell is Dan's... well, you know, Dan's he's got a split personality. That's one of them that comes through. Tony's in tonight.
But I do think, to me, I think that these are. I'm not saying they're not spirit. I think that these are. Then I started to go on and started thinking, well, if they're near woodlands and in their sort of natural areas, then maybe these are maybe nature spirits. Maybe there's something like that. And then I started to think the more, because then I looked at a lot of evidence and information that was on the internet and on books that I'd go down rabbit holes like I always do. And there seems to be a lot of people that are actually having physical interactions with them and interactions with them. And I begin to think now, I wonder, are these interdimensional beings or creatures? Are they something other than what we think they are? Maybe not spirit at all. Or maybe they're half-half. Maybe they're spirit,
Get
maybe
you,
energy.
Mr. Posh Git in the summer house.
You summer house?
He's a posh git.
He's
No, you
not
want to
posh.
watch him.
Because it's a summer house. What do you fucking means, love? Call it what it is. It's a shed.
I think what he's trying to say is that he got a picture of one that...
Fucking shed. I'll just move over here and have my tea, but I need to move the lawnmower out of the way first.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Yeah, Skegness is interesting.
Yeah.
Come on, bro, you're a fucking liar.
Leave him alone.
Only
Leave
joking.
him alone.
I'm only joking, love.
Oh, in the summer, he hasn't got one.
Right.
Oh, I see.
Yes, it's in other words, he's got a shed. Oh, nothing wrong with having a shed.
I've seen many that were very human in form, and I've seen them. Yeah, I'm not saying they're not human in form. I mean, we don't know what these interdimensional beings, creatures are, but thanks, Tim. Thanks, buddy.
Tim, you're a very brave man. You'll have it up in every toilet in the whole of England.
Now, have you seen anything in the guise of shadow person or anything?
I haven't seen any, but I've seen clips of Coast to Coast AM. I know that they had an interview with someone who claimed to be a Native American elder, and I think the listeners were basically encouraged to do was draw like shadow people and send in their drawings, and I think there was so many that looked the same. So I found it a quite an interesting thing, shadow people, but to experience it myself, no, I haven't ever seen a shadow person.
Hang on. What the shit?
No, that's what she said, Annette.
No, I didn't. What about you, Jay? What do you think about shadow people?
I do think that. See, I think there is shadows. We have come across them when we went to the one in Gloucester, the mansion,
Woodchester.
Oh,
Woodchester.
yeah.
So we come
Photo of it.
across them, but like you said, Viv, is that our shadow, which was pitch black, and it was only like fairy lights down the corridors, wasn't it? There weren't much light, so it could have been our shadows. But I think they're real. To be fair, I think they are spirit, but just not formed. I just think they are what they are.
So,
if that makes sense.
Jay, here's a deep question for you, Jay. So you've heard of hag woman, shadow man.
Yeah.
Could these things be the same thing but misinterpreted? So one female, one male, and why on animals, shadow animals?
Mm.
Could that be the same? Do you think?
I think they're all linked to links. Yeah, so it could be a woman, a man, and an animal.
So do you think it might be like as mediums, we know that spirit can show themselves in varying forms depending on their energy, the environment, and if it's strong enough. So do you think a shadow person could be spirit just showing you themselves in that form because they haven't got the energy to progress it any further?
I think so, yes. Yeah, I think the energy's there, but it's not that powerful so we can see what they like. So they were like, well, there's my shadow. What do you think, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
You can take it or leave it. But that's what I think. That's what I believe in, that it's either a man or woman, or could be a child, and also an animal as well. So
Yeah.
I've only seen a few though, only when we was at the mansion.
Have you seen? Now you're going to think I'm bonkers, but I'm going to put it in there under the category of shadow man. Is when they show themselves, but they look like distorted matter shaking. So a bit like Predator when he goes.
So it's like all this, like all jump.
Yeah.
I've seen something like that, but
like a glimmer, isn't it?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
but it's
think
like a
it
shimmer.
was. Yeah, but I wouldn't. If I saw quite a few of them, they'll be like, "Oh, that's Shadow Man" or something like that. Because I haven't seen much of them, I wouldn't put my first finger on and going, "Oh, that's definitely that," because you're not sure about it at first. You think, "Well, how can it be?" So I'm not going to put it. Oh, yeah, that's a tick in the box kind of thing. I wouldn't physically go, "Oh, I don't know." So I kind of pushed that to one side, if that makes sense, and gone, it could have been this, or that.
But do you find, Dan, Lowe, all three of you, do you find though, especially on events, they've got a few people, there's not just one, two or three people, there's a whole bunch of people in a venue investigating shadow man, but not one of them get up and investigate it fully.
God, yeah.
So what they do is they accept what they're seeing, but they're not trying to account for every single person. Where are they? Where are they standing? The light, the shadow play. Did somebody just walk past? None of them are doing that. They're too willing to accept it straight away.
Yeah. I totally agree. Because how many times have we been in the dark, torches are shining, and obviously at the back of you, you've got the tall shadow yourself, or if you're walking in front and obviously you can see a shadow yourself, so it's always good to reason. Again, it all comes back down to using logic first. If you can't debunk it.
The ones that I've seen, that I've absolutely said hand on heart that there's something, these are there in reality, of ones that have been there. And when you're in an investigation, people know what they're doing, and I'm sure a lot of you have been. But you see something like that, you all fucking stop. You don't move. And if that thing then keeps moving, then you've got something that's going, particularly if there's very little light source there to cast shadows. Then I think what you've got is something.
There was that famous one that was on the TV in a famous prison in America. I think it was Taps that took the photo. And somebody went in and they recreated that and discredited that photo. It was exactly the same that they took. So my question is now, because people are watching it on TV, they're just too willing to accept. Oh, look, Shadow Man. They don't, it's.
Yeah, they are. But don't you find, let's be honest, right? Don't you find that 99.9% of the paranormal investigators out there accept something as being active, haunted, or definitely paranormal before they've even gone into the building?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're preempting what it's going to be. In their head, they've got to say, I'm definitely going there, it's haunted. Whereas I will say, well, I'm going to go there because allegedly it's haunted.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you go in there and think, well, it's definitely haunted, this is.
Well, you can make your mind
your mind's made up for you. Whereas if you misinterpret stuff then, because everything then becomes haunted, to the point where stuff that you've seen it, Viv, and you guys have probably seen it as well, stuff that is blatantly not paranormal, It's
That way.
considered to be paranormal. Oh, you won't take it easy, buddy.
Yeah, take it easy,
Hey,
mate.
Molly.
Hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Oh, HS Rice. He's out of the pontoon in Tampa
I
Bay.
know. I know. How the other half live, eh?
I know. There you go, Bryce C.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair enough. That's fair
Yeah.
enough.
Mm.
Oh, Mr. Southey's in the house.
Hello, Mr. Southey. I hope you and your good lady
Hello.
wife are doing splendidly well.
Mr. Southey, hello. Not William, Mr. Southey.
Monsieur Bonsoir. I found
Bonsoir.
it was more the feeling of fear that was stronger than seeing the shadow man. Yeah, it's interesting that, Noreen, because people say they feel that before it appears, don't they? Never
I
seen
totally
something.
agree with you, William. Never
Exactly,
saw
William.
anything in the pyramid.
Exactly.
And that's the problem, is that people always want to go to places after they've watched ghost shows. I want to go to the Ancient Ram because it's so haunted. I want to go to this one because it's so haunted. I just used the Ancient Ram at the top of my head. I want to go to, anywhere in the world because it's so haunted. And then people get there, do an investigation and think, oh Lord, why have I not got anything? This is not like the shows. And then comes the slating and don't go to this
Exactly.
place because it's
Exactly, Brian.
rubbish. It's
Yeah.
mental.
Prime example, did an investigation. I was there for 8 hours, didn't get a bean. But on the way home, I saw something.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the weird thing, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
you don't, all these. And this was an ex. Well, it was still a listed building, and it was a mansion, great big mansion. Nothing in there that I'd experienced. Nothing apart from the odd footsteps and that could have been anything because it was big and empty. But when I left there on the way home, I did experience something. Nothing to do with that building. Spent 8 hours in a reputedly haunted spot. Not sausage. Leave
Didn't
there,
get
drive
anything.
home, see something.
But don't you find when there's a larger number of people and you've booked to go on an event somewhere, let's say, I don't know, let's say Windsor Castle, okay? You've booked to go on an event on Windsor Castle and there's 30 of you going. You're all going to be in different areas. You know, they're going to split you up in groups of 10, take you around. But the person taking you around has already told you that this place is so haunted. You're going to see a shadow man, but it's actually it's the headless horseman that's got off his horse and he roams the halls. What's the betting? One person out of that group of 30 is going to see this shadow man. One person is going to hear him groaning, but don't know where the groaning's coming from because he hasn't got his head with him. Do you see what I mean? It's too suggestive. I mean,
it is.
A lot of people do not go in now with the attitude is this place is not haunted. They've got to prove to me that it is.
Yeah,
they do it the wrong way round now. I find.
Yeah, it's like when people say to me, "Do you think that building's haunted?" And I always say to them, "I only investigated for a few hours, and I only investigated over one night."
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean it isn't. It just means there was nothing going on when I was there. Hi, Laura. Yeah. It just means there was nothing going on when I was there. What's CBA?
Can't be asked.
Can't be asked.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm like that.
Yeah, I agree, Emma. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right, Noreen.
Exactly, Sarah.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. Yeah. It contaminates the environment, which is it's not good for anybody.
And you know what? Jay contaminates the environment with his arse.
He does. He does.
That's him up there.
No, don't make excuses. I'll tell you when I fart because they're silent but deadly.
But let's be honest, he can't leave his arse at home because
That's what ladies
his shoulders.
Do what?
But to be honest, he can't leave his arse at home because it's attached to his shoulders.
God.
Talking shit. Yeah, and you know what? And that's the problem, William. People expect them to be.
Yeah.
And they don't. They know, and they shouldn't perform on command. You know, they're independent, intelligent, beings, energies, whatever you want to call them.
The one in here, honestly, if that did it on command, I'd move out. I like it when it's intermittent, and when it does happen, I'm like, piss off. I'm not looking. You know, when it's in your own home, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, well, you're right in the fire, aren't you? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Sarah. Exactly that.
Well, he is blind when he hasn't got his glasses on.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was superb. That was.
I love Alf Garnett.
Alf Garnett is just something else. For those of you watching across the pond, Google Alf Garnett or In Sickness and in Health. And
I might have to because I don't know what it is.
If you're lucky enough to see any clips of shows, if they show you all of it.
Do you know the one they got over there, Viv? They tried to buy Alf Garnett from the BBC, and the BBC said no to this American broadcasting company. So what they did, they started their own up, which became Archie Bunker. So Archie Bunker is like their version of Alf Garnett, which is a big show. Alfie Bunker. In fact, I quite like Alfie Bunker. I think it's quite funny. It's very cleverly done.
I do like Alf Garnett. I've watched that for years, and I think they're doing reruns on the TV at the minute. So
he comes across as a really conceited, horrible individual, doesn't he? Right, a racist, horrible, and the character. What people didn't realise is the character was invented to show the stupidity of that type of person. It was very clever.
Dan, why did you not tell me? See if you shave your teeth and keep the specs.
Bleeding hippie.
See that
he was Nick. He was brilliant. He was brilliant.
That Scouse-Git living with him.
Long hair.
He hated him.
Scouse-Git.
You Scouse-Git. He'd go to his. That was his son-in-law.
It was his son-in-law. Sherry Blair's dad, didn't he?
Oh. Did you hear someone fart in the middle of the silence? No, that was my stomach.
I've heard a few stomachs go.
Oh, God, that's funny when your stomach goes. Well, I've had this torch on. Nothing's happened. It's been like that all the time.
33 minutes.
Maybe it's shouting yes.
Or shut up, Dan.
Breath.
Maybe I'm just wasting my battery.
I think the same can be said with a lot of equipment as well, to be honest with you. I think a lot of equipment is just gimmicks and stuff, and if it flashes, it buzzes and it lights up, then it's worth 300 quid. And it's not the case. Nothing's proven to actually give you solid proof of the paranormal. So it's all trial and error. You're better off trying a ball in the middle of an area where there's no crosswinds.
I could give you a piece of equipment that I bought. I was talking about this on Paranormal Uncut on Monday.
Here we go, personal.
Dickhead. And a piece of equipment that I'll tell you to go like that and put your hand in just to get a electric shock. That's never been used because you shut up about bad toys.
Yeah, it doesn't buzz. It doesn't buzz. It's all right. It doesn't take a C battery. She's fine.
What is this equipment like?
Listen, the battery cover on this thing, you can't even get a battery in because it doesn't fit. Seriously, it was 2 minutes. I'll go and get it and I'll show you.
There you go.
You're a radio show, eh?
That's because I used it last night for Wayne and Josh. I just remembered.
Could have changed it.
Oh dear.
Do you know what? It won't for me because I assume that everything on YouTube is bollocks anyway. I don't even watch it anymore. I refuse to watch Ghost Investigations anymore unless I know the team, and then I'll watch them. If I've got trust in them. Yeah, I told you. Absolutely, William. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, exactly, William. Exactly. All in the Family. That was it. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, here we go.
I'm waiting
What's she
for
got
it.
there?
So,
oh, see, you showed us that before.
Oh,
aye. So we've got the battery that can't fit the battery. Now, if it's you're out and it's, I'll sell it to empty for £65.
See that bit at the end where you got that battery.
You got an aerial?
That lip, it's sort of going inwards.
yeah.
You need to push it out or break it off.
Oops.
Have you? I take it you've had no responses or activity with it then, Lo?
No, 'cause it's not
I've
working.
never used it because I could get I could die with electric shock.
Yeah.
Or well, and it could go off like a bomb. Now, what one do we want to really focus
Stuff
on?
people come up with.
That's just ridiculous, isn't it?
£65 to MD, so I can get my money back.
But who's silly to buy it?
We've all done it.
Does it even work?
Yeah, if I hold the battery in.
Oh, so you need to put a bit of paper or something in there.
Bit cardboard.
Yeah.
No, see if I put the best it is, the bat is cheeky bastard. If you put obviously the bat, it's dry. If you put the battery in, it doesn't fit. You've got to physically hold the battery in. Why are you making that sound? You never make that sound.
She probably could, but the chair would go missing with it.
Dan, any more of your shenanigans and I will stick this right up your...
Oh God! But was that guy. Oh God, what was his name? The one that got ousted out for ripping people
Emma.
off.
Emma, it was for somebody that was. I'll tell Emma this story. I paid £65 for that monstrosity. I was so upset by it. I used to work as a carer and I used to work all over. And I went into a residence room and I could have thrown her fucking Cassell right out the top of the window when I seen that she had one. And I'm like that. I'm so upset about that. And I walk into a room and she's got one and I'm like that. I can chuck it out the window.
Was it the same as yours?
So I googled the price. £20 in Amazon. I paid 3 times the price of it.
Because they stuck a battery on it.
Bit extra. You're right, I'm when I get ripped off.
I think we all do. We all do. We all do.
That was that Tanner guy that was making that. Did he make
no,
that?
I had no dealings with Tanner. I wasn't Tanner. It was somebody else in there.
I think he's just disappeared in the ether, isn't he, Tanner?
It's shocking if you put your fingers in it, holding the battery and the pushing rain, Emma. Sarah Louise, sorry.
You did, Emma.
It is shocking.
Yeah.
But it's on my shelf, looking at me, taunting me every day.
That'll go off now without any batteries in it. You watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Wow. But there are a lot of charlatans out there that are just ripping people off.
They're all there. It's unbelievable. And the thing that gets me as well, where they sell. First of all, it was a REM pod. Then the next time you see it, it looks slightly different, and it's called something else. And then the next time you see it, it looks totally different, and it's called something else. And all they do, they keep rebranding it with different names. It's the same bloody thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but they charge you more and more for it every time. It's like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. But out of all of your equipment, what's your favourite? Let's talk about that.
Certainly know that carousel.
Mine, I mean, let's be honest, it's
chair.
I suppose every experience is personal, isn't it? Even if you have it with somebody else, it's still personal to you because you're a single entity. What do you say?
Your chair. Your favourite piece of equipment, your chair.
Yeah, and then my bed. I think every experience is personal to you, isn't it? Even if you have an experience that's very similar or at the same time as somebody else, it's still personal to you because obviously you're single entities. So, with all the equipment in the world, I mean, even with the equipment in the world, if you catch something, people are just going to say it's bollocks anyway, aren't they? A lot of the time, you know. And to be honest, who can I blame people? Because people have been exposed to so many lies and so much crap. So it's only going to be relevant to you, isn't it? And people that trust you and know you. But, you know, there's a certain person that you know in Viv that has showed me pictures that he's taken. And to be honest, on face value, they look amazing. But then when I've shown them to people who know what they're looking at, they've said, no, it's double exposure or it's X, Y, and Z. And that person's either convinced themselves or they're lying or they're doing both.
Mm-hmm.
So even then, you have to be careful. But if I trust somebody implicitly, and there's not many I do in this game, then I'll take them at face value and I'll think, okay, that's fair enough. That's good. You told me that's good enough for me.
So what's your favourite piece of equipment?
It's me. It's just my eyes and ears. Really? I had a lovely carousel once, but it was...
What colour is yours?
Tell you what, I'll tell you what, Dan. £65 and it's yours.
No, I've got mine for 20. I wasn't that fucking stupid.
So what's your favourite one piece then, Parker?
Probably my ears and my eyes.
There you go.
What about you, Lo?
Carousel.
Still know that carousel. The same as the guys, ears and eyes. So back to the old school.
Mine is really simple, right? I love my ovulus. And the reason I love my
when you said mine's really simple, I thought you were going to say low.
No.
Mine,
wow.
Window liquor extraordinaire.
I am going to stick this up your ass.
You're nobody's dribbler. You're my special dribbler, Lo.
The reason I love the ovulus is because it's broken its bank many times.
Yes.
And now on phonics, on phonic mode, it's swearing at people. And when you hear it swear, it's the funniest thing in the world.
It's hilarious when spirits swear at you.
Did that just swear at me?
Freaking brilliant.
Told me to F off.
I love that.
That is the reason I love my ovulus. Not because it's detecting anything, but because it's chucking out swear words and everyone's like, I just swore at me. And I'm sitting there trying not to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for the entertainment value. Is why I like the ovulus.
I think it tickles you, doesn't it, when you think that people on the other side still effing blind.
Yeah.
Entertaining, isn't it?
Have you been sworn at by spirit and had it recorded?
Yep.
No, not recorded. I've been sworn at quite.
What did it say to you, Lo, then? What did it say?
Fuck you, you bastard.
You fucking moron.
Did it? Did it? Fuck you, you bastard.
Yep. Stirling jail.
Great.
But you would expect that for that type of so yeah. It was funny.
I got in a building that was made by the founder of Barclays Bank. So you'd think it'd be quite posh and well-to-do. And I said, if there's anybody in this room with me, could you just introduce yourself? Tell me your name. My name is Viv. I'd like to know what your name is. And in response I got was, you're a cock.
Love
You're
all
a
that.
cock. It's like, oh, I've got a Londoner in here with me.
Oh, I love all that. I love all that.
Brilliant.
Mm.
Brilliant.
It's nothing. It's hilarious when they swear at you, and it's like, this is brilliant.
Yeah. Oh,
You're
Emma
like my type of people.
Exactly.
Emma Louise is the lady you need to speak to, Dan.
Why? I mean, I'd love to speak to anybody and everybody, especially people on the air.
Understood.
Emma Louise. I must have a look for Emma Louise on Facebook then and try and
Yeah.
tell me wanted to speak to her.
Yeah,
But
if you want her as a
happy to speak to Emma
well, if
Louise.
you
Oh,
want her as a
bless you, Louise.
co-host,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I've got you. Oh, I've
Penny's
got you.
just
Lois,
dropped.
don't do what I did when I was a kid. I had a toilet needed batteries and I didn't have well, I did have some.
Oh my
I'll bet your parents' glass. I've got an EVP of Spirit saying F off. That's brilliant.
I
Brilliant.
bet you it's one of your favourites, Tim. One of the best. That's funny.
That's brilliant. I think one of the funniest ones.
That's a character.
The funniest ones I had was I did an investigation at that place in Wales. I can't think of it. The castle. It's not a castle. It's a big house. It's called something Castle. I can't think of it. Anyway, we did one there, and they said that we were doing a séance, and we'd done this séance, and then we were doing EVPs, and I was talking to it and then listening back, and somebody said at the end of it, apparently we were told this particular spirit worked with the horses, is a stable yard man or whatever, a horseman, groom or whatever, and they didn't like people down by the stables. He weren't happy with it. He didn't want anybody anywhere near the stables, and we were near the stables, and I've got this conversation going with this energy, and it was it was all right. It was nothing nasty and whatever. And I said, everybody, I said, says that you're a nasty individual and you're not to be trusted. And he told us that he was a groom. He actually told us he was a groom, and we knew that beforehand. So there was stuff there that was direct hits. And at the end, I said, yeah, people criticise you. They don't speak very highly of you. I said, but to be honest with you, I think you're a lovely individual and it's very nice to speak to you. And then I heard, when we played it back, I heard, fuck off wanker. And it's in Wales, right? So it was pitch black. And we were sitting around this table, and all of a sudden, from nowhere, this Welsh bloke leaned over at me and called you a fucking wanker. I went, yeah, what can you do about it? I went, what can I do about it? I wouldn't have that. I went, yeah, thanks very much. Thanks very much. Pitch black.
Probably next matey next door.
Do you know, it's so funny because that reminds me of when we went to Wales to investigate these cottages we were staying in. And all the while we were doing EVPs and got nothing.
Yeah.
We switched on the spirit box, nothing. I said, Dan, ask questions in a Welsh accent. And then we were getting responses. So,
started to talk to us, didn't it? They started, whatever it was, we started acknowledging us and stuff and lighting stuff up and that, wasn't it? It was doing lots of bits and bobs.
The minute you did a Welsh accent, it happened because we were asking normally in our normal common accent, nothing. And I wonder if we would get the same in Scotland. If we went to Scotland, so the minute they hear an English accent, nothing. The minute you're a Scottish accent, loads of shit.
Yeah.
I reckon it's the opposite, to be fair.
Do you reckon it might be? Especially if they're from a time when they weren't exactly au fait or happy with the English.
No, they weren't. No, exactly.
I think they are. They're still not happy with
the
English.
No, they're not happy with the English, are they?
I only like certain English, but it's no Dan nor Parker, pair of dickheads.
See, I love going to places like Wales and Scotland going, hello, I'm English, I am.
You sound simple, Dan.
Yeah.
Special needs.
Simple Simon.
Oh, God.
When we go to Edinburgh Castle, Dan, I'll pay your score to say that. And I'm on my
I
diary,
like to
man.
say how things. I'm from the place where democracy comes from and intelligent people. Don't get the up with me. You don't work for us anymore. We let you go.
We'll stand back and watch how many people slap it.
Shit beating out of me.
Just film it.
Well, wear one of them the helmets they used to wear in the back in the day and see what you get.
You can see me getting carried away in an ambulance.
And you will as well.
Oh no!
You say that in Glasgow, forget
It's
it.
game over.
Lights out, game over. Everybody hates English, don't they?
Do you know what? I found out the other week that I've actually got Scottish blood in me, and English, obviously English blood. And Scottish. When I found out I had Scottish blood, I kept punching myself.
You idiot. Oh my God.
There would be the PM coming to us and asking if we're going to.
Oh yeah, he did that, didn't he? What a twat! What an absolute plum! That I can't call him a man. Thunderbird puppet, he looks like, doesn't he?
Thunderbird puppet.
It does. All that money, he's got like a sixth former's suit on.
Yeah. And they're too short in the leg as well.
The arms are up by his elbows. It's like,
Ankle swingers.
it's like you need to go back and let your mum dress you, mate. For a young man.
Do they have those Aberdeen Angus steakhouses still? Do you remember they used to be everywhere?
Yeah, I
didn't they?
remember those. I've not seen one for a while, I don't think.
No, there was one in Piccadilly.
I wonder if it's still going.
Probably not.
No, probably not, no.
Yeah. Right. We are
Mind you,
coming...
stopped eating steak there because it's all mad cows in Scotland.
Whoa.
It's alright. I might be a mad cow, but you're a fucking asshole.
Good comeback.
I can't even argue with that.
You can't.
Right, guys, we're coming to the end of the show, but we are back tomorrow night, and the madness will continue. We haven't got a guest on. We were going to get Kev back on tomorrow, but he's not very well, so we might just have a little bit of a chat. If Lo's free tomorrow, we might get her in, and we'll continue this mad conversation tomorrow. So, what do you reckon, Lo? Are you available tomorrow to attack down?
I can't tomorrow because I've got my boys, so not tomorrow.
We'll rain check
but
it.
I'm on.
I'm fucking let
Aye.
We will rain check it, but we will be continuing the madness tomorrow from 8 o'clock. Jay, if you're around, by all means pop on and we'll just continue having a laugh. And Thursday, you've got To the Grave and Back on Thursday night.
Yep, on Wednesday, Nick Files. We're redoing Nick Files as we had a good few issues that with Nick's connection. On Thursday, we are talking about witchcraft, light versus dark. On Friday, Frighteners, we are talking what the age limit should be in the paranormal. Because it's been a big discussion.
65.
It's been well, that.
How old are you?
Mind you,
Sorry.
that just gets in the mere, because it seems to be a big topic just now, in the paranormal, and I've seen a good few posts recently talking about age limit and things like that. So definitely, why not talk about it in Friday Frighteners?
What do you mean, like age limit when you can start?
Yeah, because basically a lot of questions that I've seen recently, and I've seen a lot of groups having the discussion of is children and teenagers.
Yeah.
Like where it would stand in that sort of stance. So It will be an interesting one. So Friday night
Yeah,
we'll be doing that. So
A
no
lot of
ghost
insurance companies will not cover anybody under 18.
No.
So it
no.
beggars a question, are they carrying insurance?
This is the thing.
Do you know, it's an awkward one because on the face of it, I would say, you know, there should be an age. But then the other side, you know what? But when I was 14 or 15, even 12, I'd love to have gone out and done it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it must be like, well, you know, how interested are you? You know?
Yeah.
Bye, Nicola. Bye, Sarah Louise.
Good night, all.
William,
Love to
it's
everyone.
not German,
Salami.
Italian all the way for me.
German salami. Knockwurst.
Knockerverse.
Knockwurst. The lady with the big boobies.
And on that note, we'll say good night.